And joining me now for more insight following a third consecutive night of protests in Charlotte, and we have to point out that it's very peaceful. We have Steve Rogers, who is a retired detective from the Nutley, New Jersey Police Department. He's also a former member of the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force. I got to ask you, and you're also Lieutenant Commander with the Office of Naval Intelligence. Steve, you have a lot on your plate, but I want to ask you, last night we saw police holding the line because of the violence that ensued with the protests. Tonight, we see that police have backed away, allowing the protesters, albeit in the height of a curfew that was imposed at 12 a.m. and will continue to 6 a.m. But the police have held back, showing their own restraint, and yet we've seen restraint coming from the protesters as well. So we have a peaceful stalemate here. That's a good thing, is it not?
It's a very good thing. And Kelly, I've got to tell you, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we had the same conversation in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and here we are in 2016 having the same conversation, and it's the police and the people who are being victimized. And I'm going to qualify that statement. You know, many of the people have a lot of legitimate concerns, and they've expressed them the best they could. I'm not talking about the rioters. There's no excuse for violence. And the police have concerns. But the real frustration should be taken out on the political leadership of both parties. This is not a Republican or Democrat problem. It is an American problem that have promised the people and the police so much and delivered so little, and this is what we have today. So it's great to protest, but I think moving forward that the community leaders there and others have to move forward by really holding the political leadership throughout the country, hold their feet to the fire, and let them know, look, we do need jobs, we do need education, we need those tools that will help us come out of this problem. And the police need to know that their government officials are going to back them when they are led into situations where they have to protect everyone.
Steve, a lot of people are listening to that, and a lot of would agree with you, and others would say, well, how do we get there? And obviously what you've talked about is that people have to come to the table of brotherhood and sit down and talk. Both sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, black, white, liberal, conservative, you name it, they all have got to sit down and deal with this problem called race in America, be unabashedly involved in it, not afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly right. Look at the ministers that were out there. I saw them on your TV show. They're working with the people. I saw a visual tonight on your show, police officers talking to people, engaging. Right. Maybe you got to get the politicians out and let the people and police come together.
That's a good place to begin. Steve Rogers, thank you, my friend, for sharing that good insight with us.
Thank you.
Just want to say Charlotte's a great community. It was a great place to grow up, and it will be a